team over at the Elder Scrolls Online is trying to come up with new ways to let players know what's going on in game. It says they're going to try out a new social series called This Week in Tamriel. It says their goal is to make sure that players know the happenings across Tamriel in a single place in a given week. It says let us know what you think. So it kind of shows what's going to be happening this week. On the 2nd of December, the Daedric War ends. On December the 3rd is when the Vengeance 4 campaign test goes live. On December 4th, all server maintenance, and also on December 4th, the Hidden Kindred crates will end. Now, in my opinion, I kind of wish they would have done this long ago. This is something that's definitely overdue for me anyway. I think this is going to be a big help for players that maybe don't get to log in and play daily. I do really like the idea of what they've done with kind of the monthly road calendar each month. I think that was a great addition. But at the same time, if you don't play all the time, if you're maybe playing other games, if you only get to log in and play maybe a couple hours a week, sometimes some of these events get lost. Let's just use an example of, let's say you have something like the New Life Festival and it didn't start to maybe the second or last week of December, just for an example. If you saw that on a kind of roadmap at the beginning of the month, you may completely forget about that by the end of the month. So I think this is a really good way for players to see what's happening weekly in the game. Now, they didn't give a lot of detail about exactly how they plan on doing this. They said it's going to be a test. They've started answering some questions from the community. It says they're going to try it out for a few weeks and see if it's helpful. The format could evolve, or we may switch it up to cover a couple weeks at a time if necessary. It says keep the feedback coming so we can make sure our posts are relevant. And I know not every single week is going to have some big announcement for the game, but I still think it's really good even just for the maintenance, so players kind of know when the maintenance is happening. I know maintenance is usually on kind of a routine schedule in game, but sometimes they do change it up. They did not really specify if this is only going to be something they post on X, if they're going to post it in the Discord, I would assume. But I kind of wish they would have a layout just like this that would pop up in game as soon as you log in. We know right now inside of ESO, when you log in, you may get something that's in the store for sale when you first log in. It may pop up a specific event that is going on at that time, kind of when you first log in. But I think having a weekly calendar pop up when you first log in would be very, very helpful for all players. That way they would know if something's going on in game, if maintenance is coming in game. Just something that all players could see that's kind of on a weekly schedule, broken down just like this. So to me, they could take this exact example they used here of this week's stuff that's going on and just post that in game as soon as you log in. That way you see everything that's happening that week. You know if there's going to be an event going on, if there's going to be maintenance going on. So maybe if you do not get to play all the time, you at least know, hey, that's happening this week. That's not something that's happening later this month, as you would kind of with the monthly roadmap. So I think this would be a great addition into the game once you log in. I don't know what you guys think about that, but I think it would be very helpful. But overall, it seems like they're still trying to listen to community feedback. I have seen people talk about this for a really long time, to where they don't know exactly what's going on in game. And I think that was one reason they probably started doing the monthly roadmap. But at the same time, when it comes to particular events, we usually don't get a post about that event until a couple days before the event starts. It seems like years ago it used to happen a little earlier. You might get an event post about a week before the event, but now it's really close to event time. I know they got a lot of stuff going on in game, so it's probably hard to get those posts out quickly and as early as possible. So they probably have to kind of post it closer to event time before they make some post talking about the event itself and kind of the details in general. So leave me a comment. Let me know, would you like to see something like this in game as soon as you log in for a kind of a weekly update so you know what's going on inside of Tamriel every single week? Leave me a comment with your thoughts, and of course, if you like the video, hit the like. If you have not subscribed yet, please do so, and I'll catch you next time. Peace.